8 laps, top 5 to tonight's 35-lap A-Main to kick off Ohio Sprint Speedway. Young Aiden Price, Alex, on that pole position there. Again, coming off a 4th place run here last Friday night. The youngster feeling pretty comfortable in that Rich and Shelley Farmer-owned machine as the pace trucks, the Bauman Auto Group pace trucks, hit the infield. We are ready to rock and roll off turn 4, Alex.
Air Planning and Services. Heat race number 1. Price Street on the front row. Green flag is out here in heat race number 1. Great start for Aiden Price as they go into turn number 1 and 2. Parker Price Miller tried to duck to the inside there on Tyler Street. Brock Hallett, Caleb Henry. Henry goes to the top side. Caution flag is out.
Not a good start. Aiden Price getting sent back row, took off too early. The youngster just a little anxious starting on the front row for the All-Star event here. So that'll move Dylan Kingen now, or Tyler Street, excuse me, and Parker Price Miller to the front row. Aiden Price, Caleb Henry in row 2. Going to be interesting, Alex, to watch Danny Dietrich here. Buried in that 4th row, the defending Ohio Sprint Speed Week champion. He always likes, the last 4 or 5 years coming over here and running these Ohio tracks, he likes the bull rings. Coming off that Central Pennsylvania, the half-milers. We'll try it again out of turn 4, side by side at the chalk line. Oh, look out, Tyler Street. Big wheel stands. Sets it back down and goes from first to next to last. Parker Price Miller going to lead the charge out of turn 4, going to lead lap number 1 over Caleb Henry. Greg Wilson on the move in the W20, and Brock Hallett, your top 4.
Keep an eye on that 48 of Danny Dietrich, because the difference in this format this year, you get a point per pass. Danny Dietrich right now on the move as he is in a transfer spot, but he's on the hunt for more.
Points, points, points as Parker Price Miller sets sail down the backstretch. Caleb Henry comfortably in 2nd. Greg Wilson up to that 3rd spot. He started 6th in this one. So Greg Wilson, who struggled with qualifying over the last few years, qualified pretty decent tonight and picking up points in that 3rd spot. 4th to Brock Hallett and 5th to Danny Dietrich. Aiden Price back to 6th. Stuart Brubaker, Tyler Street, Todd King, Kai Harper, and Logan McCandless round out the field.
Parker Price Miller out in control of this one by over a second and a half last time by, and it's still holding at a second and a half over Caleb Henry. Greg Wilson a second and a half behind, so your top 2 are pretty well distanced between the rest of the field.
Everybody trying to go around the bottom of the racetrack, but not Caleb Henry. Problems for Tyler Street off the high side of turn 2, and that will bring out the caution flag with 6 laps in. We got honoring flagman up there. Dave Foose says that green flag comes back out single file past that Truckworks of Ohio restart cone. And Parker Price Miller sets sail again down the backstretch. Caleb Henry going to go right up to the cushion in 3 and 4. Greg Wilson around the bottom in 3rd. Hallett in 4th. Here comes Danny Dietrich and Aiden Price battling. Oh, upside down in turn 4. Todd King.
Price Miller going to lead him into turn number 1 and 2. As Brock Hallett there gets out and sorts open the door. Here comes Aiden Price to the inside. Going to throw a little slider there on Brock Hallett. Clears the slider. Hallett now back to the inside.
That race is for the 4th position. Is down the backstretch one final time through turns 3 and 4. Taking that heat race win going to be the law firm Parker Price Miller, Caleb Henry 2nd, 3rd, Greg Wilson 4th, Aiden Price final transfer to Brock Hallett. Danny Dietrich, Stuart Brubaker, and Kai Harper to the B-main. Yeah, absolutely. I think you're going to see car counts average in the upper 30s, low 40s all week long. There's going to be a strong contingent following Ohio Sprint Speed Week. Here we go, ready to rock and roar off turn 4. 8 laps, top 5 day, green is out. Jeff Sable with the advantage in the 1 and 2. Look at that 66 of Ryan Newton First time he's ever laid eyes on Attica Raceway Park, and he's into the second spot. Cody Brewer in third, DJ Foose racing with Bryce Lucius for that fourth spot. Lucius gets it down the backstretch. Here comes Ricky Peterson in that 98 car on the move.
Peterson now going to slide up in front of Foose. Foose now trying to go to the inside. DJ Foose, Ricky Peterson Jr., that's for the final transfer spot. As now DJ Foose returns the slider there in turn 1 and 2. Into turn 3 and 4, DJ Foose holds it. Here comes Jordan Ryan.
Out front yet it's Zeth Sabo commanding lead. A tick over a second over Ryan Newton, the Australian, looking comfortably in second. Cody Brewer, the youngster, running in that third spot. Fourth to Bryce Lucius in the 27H. And what a battle for that fifth spot now. Jordan Ryan, DJ Foose.
DJ Foose takes back that final transfer spot, but has Jordan Ryan and Ricky Peterson Jr. not far behind. And Ricky Peterson Jr. going to be the first car to duck out of line and try the top side.
Down the backstretch through turns 3 and 4. 2 laps to go across the stripes this time by for Zeth Howdy Sabo, Ryan Newton, Cody Brewer, Bryce Lucius, and the 3 of DJ Foose, but he's got company. Jordan Ryan is knocking on the door. White flag out of turn 4 for Zeth Sabo.
Zeth Sabo leading this one, Ryan Newton, but again, that eye is still on the fifth spot as Jordan Ryan not going far away from DJ Foose, but out of turn number 4, taking home heat race number 2, it's Howdy Zeth Sabo. Ryan Newton will come home in the second spot. Cody Brewer, Bryce Lucius, and DJ Foose will lock up that fifth and final transfer spot. Green flag is out here in heat race number 3. Zane DeVault, Darren Nida side by side into turn number 1 and 2. DeVault with a good run, but here comes Knight on the outside, and behind them, we got a 4-car battle here. Trey Jacobs, Cale Thomas, and now Nate Dussel battling it out here for a final transfer spot.
Up front, though, they're still duking it out for the lead. Darren Knight going to get the advantage down to turn 2 over Zane DeVault. Craig Mintz comfortably in that third spot. Trey Jacobs in fourth, and Nate Dussel the fifth and final transfer spot. Here comes Cale Thomas racing to his inside.
Slider there by Mike Keegan, and he's going to collect it
down.
Cody Bova, Devin Borden involved in this one on the front stretch.
Hammer dropped in turn 4. We go back to green with 2 laps in. Darren Nida, that Ed Neumeister Racing machine, pulls away now. The 14 of Zane DeVault, Craig Mintz in third, races now for 4th. Trey Jacobs up top. Here comes the 1 of Nate Dussel, slides up into that 4th spot. Dussel back to 5th. Zach Hampton, Cale Thomas trade sliders right behind them. Action heating up for the final transfer spot. Craig Mintz has caught Zane DeVault for 2nd. Out front, it's still Darren Knight, Zane DeVault, then the brothers-in-law, Craig Mintz and Nate Dussel run 3rd and 4th, but what a tussle for the 5th spot. Trey Jacobs has it, Cale Thomas, Zach Hampton won it. But they're running out of laps here. The sands of the hourglass fading to that final transfer position as the white flag goes in the air. Out of turn 4 for Darren Nida, Zane DeVault, Craig Mintz, Nate Dussel, Trey Jacobs. Cale Thomas, one last shot. He's going to go right up to the cushion in 1 and 2, try to get a big run off the high side of turn 2. The rear bumper of Trey Jacobs. Slider coming in 3 and 4. They go side by side, wing to wing for that final transfer spot. Trey Jacobs holds him off. Wow.
Gage Garcia, TJ Michael on in the front row here for your 4th and final heat race. Green flag in the air. Gage Garcia with a great jump as they'll go into turn number 1 and 2. Cap Henry goes right to the top side here and is going to go right to work on TJ Michael. Caution flag will wait here.
Oh, Gage Garcia took off too soon. So that'll move TJ Michael and Cap Henry to the front row now, as if Cap Henry needs any more advantages. Boy, the youngsters get excited when they start in the front row, the teenagers, for Speed Week. Green is out. Here we go. TJ Michael down to the bottom. Cap Henry going to go right to the cushion of 1 and 2. Going to get a slingshot move off the high side, almost over the right rear tire of TJ Michael. Thinks better of it. Michael down to the bottom, slides up in front of Cap Henry. Garcia back to that third spot. Good race for 4. Sterling Kling. The 15K, Creed coming on. Chris Andrew, hang on. A spin in turns 1 and 2. Parker Scott going to get sideways. He keeps the car under fire, but that will bring out the yellow flag. Down off the banking, green flag out. Oh, there goes Gage Garcia riding a bucking Bronco. Cap Henry, that car up on all 2 wheels, 4 wheels, 1 wheel. Drops back to third. Gnarly cushion up in turns 1 and 2.
Oh, Creed Kemenah.
Now Creed Kemenah going to spin off the high side of turn 2. Here we go again. Drop down off the high side of the racetrack. Green back out past that Truckworks of Ohio restart cone. TJ Michael, current AFCS point leader, and this time Cap Henry goes to the bottom, going to try to stick a nose. Look at that, 3-car battle for the final transfer spots, and look who's in the 4th from the tail, the 01 of Tim Schaefer. And the 15K going to stop in turn 4.
Those 4 cars have all looked fast here in these opening 3 laps. Green flag back out here in heat race number 4.
TJ Michael right to the middle of the racetrack this time. Cap Henry going to try to get underneath Gage Garcia, exiting turn 2, can't get it done. Chris Andrews putting the pressure on Tim Schaefer. They go wing to wing, a little bump there, and move Chris Andrews up to the 4th spot, up to 2nd now, Cap Henry.
TJ Michael holding on to the heat race lead right now, but here comes Cap Henry. Closing speed as Cap Henry goes to the top side here, trying to close in on TJ Michael, but keep an eye, the 01 of Tim Schaefer still right behind the 15C of Chris Andrews.
Oh, Michael got off the racetrack there on the backstretch. Had to gather it back in. Cap Henry going to go to his inside slider in 1 and 2. New leader, Cap Henry. TJ Michael going to try to drive under him, exiting turn 2, but Cap Henry back to the lead.
White flag will be in the air one more time around for Cap Henry, TJ Michael, Gage Garcia. That is your top 3 as they go down the backstretch one more time into turn number 3 and 4, and taking home heat race number 4, the 33W of Cap Henry. TJ Michael second, Gage Garcia, Chris Andrews, and Tim Schaefer, your top 5.
Race number 1 set to go green out of turn 4. 8 laps, top 5 to the A. Hammer drop, here we go. J.R. Gentry's car would not take off as Mike Boris grabs the lead in the 1 and 2. Kyle Moore in the 2nd. Now Gentry underpowered. He falls into that 3rd spot. Ryan Markham falls back to 5th. There's a big slide job from Greg Haskell, can't stick. So out front it's Mike Boris, Kyle Moore, J.R. Gentry, Ryan Markham, Greg Haskell as they pull away from the field. Dominic De Niro spins in turn 2 to bring out the Ollie's Bargain Outlet of Norwalk yellow flag with 2 laps in. Truckworks of Ohio restart cone on the speedway. Here we go. Dean Bliss looking him over, green out. Mike Boris right to the middle of the racetrack, opens that bottom side to Kyle Moore. Moore going to stick the nose underneath Boris in 3 and 4. Boris with the advantage. Maintains the lead. Jared Gentry in that 3rd spot. Battle for 4th now. Ryan Markham in the 5M, Greg Haskell in the RH21. Now Markham around Gentry, takes third. He'll bring along Haskell. Cross flags in the air. 4 in, 4 to go. Mike Morris pulls away slightly now from Kyle Moore. Ryan Markham getting a modified win at the Hilltop Speedway last Friday evening. Finished second in the late model feature there. Runs in that third spot. Doctor's jacket in the air, signifying one more time around for Mike Morris and Kyle Moore. Markham comfortably in the third position. Greg Haskell fourth in the final transfer spot to J.R. Gentry. Through turns 3 and 4, one final time. Taking the heat race win, going to be Mike Morris, second, Kyle Moore third, Ryan Markham fourth. The Greg Haskell final transfer to J.R. Gentry to the B, Austin Gibson, Dominic De Niro, and Steve Sabo. Green out. Jamie Krakowski going to grab the lead in the 1 and 2. Kent Brewer falls back into that second spot. Braden Shields, Casey Noonan side by side for the third position. Kent Brewer takes a peek the inside of Krakowski for the lead down the backstretch. As the 117 of Billy Dawson goes to the infield. Side by side for the lead. Kent Brewer, the new leader down the backstretch. Jamie Krakowski now tries to fight back to his inside. They still go door to door. Somebody made big contact with the orange tractor tire in turn 4. Krakowski back to the lead, exiting turn 2. Hang on, Jamie Miller. Jamie Krakowski out front. Jamie Krakowski, Kent Brewer, Braden Shields, Casey Noonan. Now Nate Potts, your top 5. White flag in the air for Jamie Krakowski. Checkered flag for Jamie Krakowski. Kent Brewer in second. Third, Braden Shields fourth. Casey Newman final transfer spot to Jamie Miller. Our 8 laps, top 5, the 8 top 2 redraw starting spots, 1 through 8 in tonight's feature event. Green flag out. Devin Shields right to the bottom of the racetrack, and he'll grab the lead. They're going to stack up behind him, go 3 wide for third, exiting turn 2. Car on the move. The 20 of Todd Brennan. Colin Shipley going to race him hard into turns 1 and 2, and here comes hammer down Doug Drown, hammering the cushion on the top side of 1 and 2. Pulls to the rear deck lid of Devin Shields, entering turn 3. Oh, big slider, and they're hung up. This is how mini stocks are made. Bauman Auto Group pace truck to the infield. Devin Shields, Colin Shipley. Now Cody Scott in that third spot. Reese Gardner in the 4th position. Final transfer spot in the 20 of Todd Brennan. All 5 go to the A. Now it's just a matter of seeing who gets that top 2 for the redraw. Brennan now into the 4th position. He's going to step out of line, go to the top side of 1 and 2. Devin Shields will glue to the bottom as they see the cross sticks in the air halfway home, your 3rd and final heat race. Devin Shields, Colin Shipley, Cody Scott, Todd Brennan, Race Gardner. Problems for the 20 of Todd Brennan. He will go to the pit area. White flag will be in the air out of turn 4 for Devin Shields. Down the backstretch one final time. Heat race swing going to go to Devin Shields. Here's that race for 2nd in the redraw. Give it to Colin Shipley. Going to the A main will be Cody Scott, Race Gardner, and Todd Brennan.
All right, Harper and Attica in control of the field here for your computer man C main. Again, top 4 B. Green flag is out in your 8 lap. And C main into turn number 1 and 2. Kai Harper going to get a little sideways and he'll go around and bring out the caution flag. Alright, this one again. Tanner Teckle, late Wagner now on the front row.
trying to put it on the pole in tonight's 35-lap feature event. Side by side at the chalk stripe.
behind him, Jordan Ryan, multi-time 305 track champion here, got his first 410 win last season here in Attica. Danny Dietrich, defending Ohio Sprint Speedway champion. Here we go.
In 1970, the All-Star Circuit of Champions were born. It is the longest touring wing sprint car series and the only Circuit of Champions. Ladies and gentlemen, this is the Napa Auto Parts All-Star Circuit of Champions presented by Valvoline. Lights will go out. Cap Henry looking for 4 in a row here in Attica with the All-Stars. Seth Sabo looking for his first career All-Star win. Ryan Newton, Parker Price Miller looking to come into Ohio and play spoiler on opening night of Speed Week. Ladies and gentlemen, it's about to go down because it's time to throw down here at Attica Raceway Park. It is your A main showdown. Green flag is out. Henry leads into turn number 1 and 2. They'll go 3 wide in turn 1 and 2. Henry holds on to the race lead as Ryan Newton up to the second spot. Caleb Henry, Darren Knight battling it out, but up for second. Here comes Seth Sabo, Ryan Newton side by side again, and Ryan Newton showing early speed.
Cap Henry pulls about 8 car lengths over Ryan Newton. Seth Sabo in that third spot, but here comes Caleb Henry on the bottom of the racetrack to challenge for that third position.
Caleb Henry, Parker Price Miller, those two were your top points guys after heat race action, and now they have their work cut out. Parker Price Miller to the inside on Caleb Henry, slide job on Henry.
Blistering pace for Cap Henry, his lead almost 2 seconds already. In another 2 laps, he will catch the back of the pack, and they are thick and heavy. We got a problem, flat left rear tire on the 19. TJ Michael flat left rear, and that will bring out the caution flag as he slowed drastically. Green back out. Cap Henry drops down off the banking. Excellent restart. He'll go right to the top of 1 and 2. He'll bring on Ryan Newton. Seth Sable, Parker Price Miller still battling with Caleb Henry for the 4 spot. Henry down underneath Parker Price Miller.
Battles throughout the field as well. Here comes Gage Garcia. He gets by Trey Jacobs. Caution flag. Car around in turn 3 and 4.
Absolutely, as he drops down off the banking. Another excellent restart. Now he'll shoot right up to the top of turns 1 and 2. He'll bring along Ryan Newton. To complete, hopefully, lap number 4. Cap Henry, Newton. And now the battle is for third. That's Sabo and Parker Price Miller. Darren Knight are going to join in on that fun as well with 5 laps in. Already Cap Henry out of turn number 4. He has caught the back of the pack. His lead, 1.4 seconds. Lap cars trying to get down to the bottom of the racetrack. Now Cap Henry's got his work cut out for him. Oh, problems in turns 1 and 2. How that wasn't disastrous. Greg Jacobs, Cale Thomas sideways. Here we go. Single file past that restart cone. Greg Wilson from 14th up to 11th. Track kind of his liking as well. Green back out. Here we go.
What a restart there by Ryan Newton trying to throw a haymaker. And now he has company as they're going to go 3 wide for the second spot. Ryan Newton holds on to second over Parker Price Miller. So it's Parker Price Miller, Seth Sabo, your top 4, with Craig Mintz now in the 5th spot going after Seth Sabo.
Wow, look at Craig Mintz on the move. Cap Henry leads lap 8. Second still Ryan Newton. Third now Parker Price Miller. Now 4th to Craig Mintz. And 5th under duress now Seth Sabo from Caleb Henry. And don't look now, DJ Foose coming on strong, as is Gage Garcia.
Garcia up top, Darren Knight now to the inside. He'll throw a slider on Garcia. Brewer, the Nate Dussel, also in that battle. So battles throughout as lap traffic on the horizon for your race leader.
Cap Henry cannot shake Ryan Newton. The lead just a tick over a second. Cap Henry trying to switch up grooves now, 1 and 2. He goes down to the bottom, but look at this gaggle of cars as he gets set to hit heavy lap traffic, and they are racing right in front of him.
3 wide in front of your race leader of Cap Henry. Ryan Newton on the top side makes a little bobble, trying to close back in on Cap Henry as Zane DeVault, Cale Thomas, Leighton Wagner. That's a 3-car battle right in front of your race leader.
He's got to deal with it. Cap Henry goes right down to the bottom of the racetrack. He's got to find a way. Newton can watch him and do the opposite, running in that second spot. When you get in the lap traffic, the advantage normally goes to the car running second. Oh, contact with your leader with Leighton Wagner, but he keeps rolling. And here comes Ryan Newton to the rear bumper of Cap Henry.
Newton now closing in, no lap traffic between your first and second place cars. Greg Mintz battling for the third spot with Parker Price Miller, racing all over the racetrack here at Attica.
Newton gonna go up top as Cap Henry tries to get underneath St. Devault. Newton with a big run off the high side of turn number 2. And we got a caution. Darren Nida spins in turn 3. And he's up to 11th. Danny Dietrich coming out of the B up to 12th. Green back out. Cap Henry goes down the bottom of 1 and 2 this time. Opens up that top line for Newton. Big run to the outside of Cap Henry. Henry gonna slide up in front of him in turn 4. They touch! Newton into the fence! Oh my!
And it looks like a flat right rear on the 33W of Cap Henry.
Parker Price Miller gonna drop down off the banking in turn 4. Takes the green flag. We go back to racing. Craig Mintz going to stick right with him, though. Mintz going to go down to the bottom of the racetrack in 1 and 2. Tries to slide up in front of Parker Price Miller. They go wing to wing down the backstretch. Craig Mintz inches ahead.
Craig Mintz going to go 3 wide there in turn 3 and 4. Gage Garcia trying to take the third spot away from Caleb Henry, as now Gage Garcia up to the 4th spot, and he's going after your current points leader.
Craig Mintz in charge now. Out front of this one, lap 16, and he's pulling away from Parker Price Miller. The race is for 3rd. Gage Garcia and Caleb Henry, a pair of California transplants.
Here comes Nate Dussel. He gets by Zess Sabo. Sabo back to the outside, but Dussel going to slam the door shut. Craig Mintz in control. Then it runs Parker Price Miller, and now Caleb Henry back to the inside. Gage Garcia, Caleb Henry still going at it, as now Caleb Henry bobbles on the top side. Gage Garcia, a little breathing room, but Craig Mintz up front, starting to close in on lap traffic.
19 laps in the books. The race still going on for 3rd. Gage Garcia and Caleb Henry and Nate Dussel has gotten into the top 5.
Craig Mintz, lap traffic right in front of your race leader. Parker Price Miller, Gage Garcia, Caleb Henry, Nate Dussel. Danny Dietrich on the move. He gets by Bryce Lucius.
Your leader now is lap cars racing side by side down to complete lap 21. Craig Mintz. He gets around Leighton Wagner. His lead, a tick over 2 seconds that time by for Craig Mintz. Oh, Caleb Henry off the high side of turn 2, brings it back on, but loses a couple spots. Craig Mintz trying to get through the traffic. Gage Garcia has found Parker Price Miller. Goes within 3 car lengths. Right behind them, the battle for 5th, Nate Dussel and Zasebo.
Craig Mintz tries to get by the 14 of Zane DeVault, but there is even more lap traffic in front of him. Parker Price Miller, Gage Garcia. Now Parker Price Miller puts Leighton Wagner between himself and that 3rd place car of Gage Garcia. 24 laps in. Craig Mintz has finally cleared the 1 lap car, but his lead has shrunk to 1.6 seconds. Zasebo now rallies into the 4th position. Nate Dussel in 5th. Mintz now, lap cars racing side by side right in front of him. 10 laps to go. And look at that gaggle of lap cars right in front of your leader. Parker Price Miller still can't shake lap traffic, but here comes Zess Sabo closing in on Gage Garcia. Garcia going to have to try and make a move on the bottom. Opens the door. Here comes Zess Sabo for 3rd.
Craig Mintz trying to pick the lap cars up, but he can't get it done. His lead, 1.7 seconds. And there's heavy lap traffic ahead of him. And he makes contact with one of them, trying to let him know, hey, I'm here. Get out of the way. As Parker Price Miller only a second behind him now. 1 lap car separates the top 2.
Parker Price Miller goes to the inside here on Darren Nida. He's trying to close in, but Craig Mintz keep putting lap cars between himself and Parker Price Miller.
Zasebo, Gage Garcia battling for 3rd with the lap traffic. That allows Nate Dussel to close. 3-car battle now for that 3rd spot.
Craig Mintz now gets to the outside, lap traffic around the bottom. Craig Mintz now 2 lap cars between himself and Parker Price Miller.
5 flanges go in the air, 5 laps to go for Craig Mintz. Parker Price Miller in second, what a race for third. Gage Garcia has it. Zeth Sable in that 4th spot. Nate Dussel, your top 5.
Craig Mintz looking for his first All-Star win since 2023. He is in control of this one, and Parker Price Miller still trying as there goes Danny Dietrich to the outside. Dietrich up to 6th.
Laps ticking down here. There'll be 3 laps to go this time across the stripe for Craig Mintz. His lead, 2.5 seconds over Parker Price Miller. Mintz down the backstretch. He's got 3 lap cars separating him and Miller. 2 laps to go for Craig Mintz out of turn 4.
Craig Mintz out front by over 3 seconds. It's a 3-second gap for Craig Mintz over Parker Price Miller. Parker Price Miller still can't get by Jordan Ryan. White flag in the air one more time around for the 09 of Craig Mintz. Battle still for the 3rd spot as Zeth Sable gets by Gage Garcia. Garcia back to the inside, side by side. Garcia going to try and throw a slider, not getting by. But out of turn number 4, Craig Mintz gets it done at Attica.
Parker Price Miller will come home second. Watch this race for 3rd. Give to Zeth Sable.
As he pulls into victory lane.
Here we go.
And we go up top, Craig Mintz. So for the first time since 2023, you could say you're an all-star winner. You didn't. That race made you work throughout the whole way. Caution, and then just like that, that restart you get by Parker, you didn't look back.
Yeah, I mean, the last probably 10 laps, I was bleeding. I felt like I couldn't get around them. They were kind of just taking the air off the nose, and I just couldn't roll the middle like I could when I was in clean air. But luckily, when I showed my nose to all those guys, minus one of them, they didn't race me back. The one, he needs to learn how to, when you're getting lapped, to kind of pull to the bottom. But no, I mean, these guys, they still believe in me. I'm getting older, not racing as much. And, here we are, able to win. I really wanted to battle the 33. He's been really, really, really good. So, it sucks to kind of see him getting into that situation. But sometimes, you got to have better be luckier than good.
And we know you got a lot of great people that are very happy to see this car in victory lane.
Yeah, I got to thank Real Geese Decoys, Paul Kistler at Kistler Engines. I mean, this thing's got like 18, 19 nights on. It's an old BR, and I love this thing. This, Kuzma, the Industries, Grant Decker Construction, Gill Construction. They've done a lot for me. The Real Caps, there's Rich Farmer, he's helped us out a ton. All my crew guys, it takes a lot of people to do this. My wife and my kids, they grind a lot. Chris, Heather, they grind. My dad, everybody at the shop. I want to thank everybody. What a heck of a crowd here tonight. I hope we put on a pretty good show for you.
Well, that is your winner. The 09 of Craig Mintz gets it done. And we'll make our way down here to second place. And tough battle there. That restart, Craig gets by you, but this car was fast all night. They're battling for the race lead, then lap traffic, and you held on for a podium finish.
Just Craig was really good. We weren't bad, just we came here, about a month ago whenever Reitzel won, and we were way too aggressive, way too tight, so we were kind of timid and what to do with the car, and just a bit free, but seconds, not bad either. But Craig was, probably class of the field for sure, but would have liked to have seen how we would end up with Newton and Cap not crashing out, but we'll move on and try and get a few more wins this week.
I was going to ask next, we know you guys show up, you basically win most of the times you show up or on a podium, so will we see you the rest of the week?
I think so. Tomorrow is up in the air for us. We don't know for sure yet. Definitely Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. So we got to go back and defend our title at Waynesville. We won 2 races there last year, but yeah, just really looking forward to the rest of the week. There's a lot of good racetracks, a lot of good race cars, and just good people. So just looking forward to it. Super thanks to Bernie and Betsy, Brock, John, TJ Starks. He's a micro kid, and his engine blew up, so he decided to come hang out with us and try and learn. So pretty cool to have him with us and try and show him a few things.
Well, that is your second place finisher, Parker Price Miller. And we'll talk to the third place finisher, Zé Sabo. You had to fight until the very end, and until that line, Gage gave you everything you could handle, but at the end of the day, you come home with a third place finish.
Yeah, man, hats off to Gage. He was racing a hard race, but I was kind of screwing up entering one. I just needed to be up on it and in it, and I just wasn't doing it, so that's on me. But my guys did a heck of a job. I can't thank Rich Farmer and Shelly enough for what they do for us. Level Utilities, Kaiser Sound, Valvoline Oils, Limousine Limo, Healthy Minds, just everybody that makes this possible. My guys, they've been busting butt lately. We haven't been very good, and the past couple weeks they turned this around. So happy to put it up here for these guys. Wish we could be a couple spots better, but we still got a bunch more racing to do this week, so we'll see what we can do.
Make some noise, Attica Raceway Park. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls at Attica Raceway Park, it's time to jump and jive for 25. Try this again, green flag out. Todd Brennan out front of this one, but he's got a lot of company. Mike Morris and Devin Shields. And out front of this one, Mike Morris right off his rear deck lid. Devin Shields there as well. Throw a blanket on the top 3 with 4 laps in. Todd Brennan, 5 laps in, continues to be hounded by Mike Morris and Devin Shields. Colin Shipley into that 4th spot, up to 5th. Kyle Moore, but he bobbles on the cushion. Hang on, Ryan Markham off the high side of 1 and 2. Todd Brennan, Mike Morris, Devin Shields, and Colin Shipley, your top 4, run nose to tail. Brennan now into heavy lap traffic. Devin Shields takes a peek to the inside of Morris for that runner-up spot down the backstretch. Behind him, Mike Shields into the 4 spot out of turn 2. Bounced off that big cushion in 1 and 2. Everybody around the bottom except for Kyle Moore. He's on the hunt. Moves into the 3rd spot. Kyle Moore's not done yet. Look at the 1 star. Right to the cushion in 3 and 4. Brennan down on the bottom. Kyle Moore into 2nd. That cushion tricky in 1 and 2. Moves to the rear deck. Let it Brennan down the backstretch. 12 laps in, but problems for Kyle Moore. May have packed the right rear with mud. Single file, 12 laps in, 13 to go. Past that Truckworks of Ohio restart cone. Todd Brennan set sail on the bottom. Now Ryan Markham going to go up the top and try it. Todd Brennan, Mike Forrest, Devin Shields, and then a big battle behind them. Cody Scott up into the 4th spot. He brings along Casey Noonan to get around the 46 of Colin Shipley. Greg Haskell on the move as well, that RH21. Devin Shields around Boris into the 2nd spot. Now he looks for the lead in turn 2. Almost contact between Todd Brennan and Devin Shields. 10 laps to go. Will Shields be patient? Sticks a nose underneath Brennan in turn 2. Brennan slams the door. Shields to the inside of him. They push the tractor tires around there, side by side. New leader Devin Shields. Mike Boris goes the outside of Brennan, challenging for 2nd. Behind them, Cody Scott, Casey Noonan, and Greg Haskell duking it out. 7 laps to go for Devin Shields and back-to-back wins at Attica Raceway Park. Mike Boris to the outside of Todd Brennan for that runner-up spot. Flanges will go in the air out of turn 4, this time by for Devin Shields. His lead 2.6 seconds that time by. That race for Ford, Cody Scott, Casey Noonan, Greg Haskell. Devin Shields with 3 laps to go. His lead to almost 3 seconds now. White flag on a turn 4 for Devin Shields. Todd Brennan in 2nd. 3rd to Mike Boris. 4th Cody Scott. Through turns 3 and 4. One final time. 2 in a row for the driver out of Benton, Michigan for Devin Shields. Todd Brennan will come home 2nd. Mike Boris in 3rd. Cody Scott 4th. Greg Haskell, your top 5. his 23rd win here at Attica Raceway Park. Second this season. Make some noise for Devin Shields. He made that look easy this time.
It was pretty close. We were door to door, and the tires were sneaking up on me pretty close.
I don't know how you managed to nudge your way under him, because I thought he was as low as you could get on the racetrack, but you got her in there.
Yeah, he was holding her down pretty good, and we didn't touch at all. So that's how I like racing. And yeah, he got a little sideways getting in there. I think I kind of nudged him a little farther into the corner than he wanted to go faster, and just stuck her on the bottom, and knew I had to use that top a couple times because it was hard to pass.
Well, there you go. Devin Shields gets it done for the second time this season, 23rd of his career here at Attica Raceway Park.